What's going on out there, lacrosse fans and sports bettors alike? Welcome on in to Bet On Lacrosse, where we're not only aiming to be cashing tickets each and every week, betting the fastest game on 2 feet, we're also aiming to make you a better. We like letting you know that at the top every time. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, and you can get me on Twitter at Newbie Talks. You can say nice picks and be sarcastic about it, or you can say nice picks and be like, yeah, I'm riding with you. Today, as always, we're going to be giving you some plays for this week's NLL slate. But before we get into this abbreviated, just 3 games, but we still were able to find with our squad here some bets that we're liking for you. But before we get into that, is we're sharing, I don't know if you hear the Alleluia chorus going all over the place. The NLL has renewed their partnership with BetMGM. So now BetMGM is the official U.S. sports book of the NLL. We were pumped when we heard it. Actually, my guy Hutton and I, before the show started, we were just getting our bets in for this week. And this is our first week. At least for us here on BetMGM and in PA, where I'm betting from, with NLL lines. They're available where I'm from. They're available in Michigan, Wyoming. So we're still waiting to see if legally they can have it in DC, New Jersey, New York. We're hoping there's going to be odds available there on BetMGM. But regardless, a total of 10 states and parts of Canada are now betting on lacrosse, specifically the box lacrosse here with the NLL. But we're not just here to talk about how excited we are. The reason why you're listening and you want to know, well, what are the BOL boys rolling with this week? So let's get it going. Nice and easy for you. We get you in, we get you out, and hopefully we get you back to the counter with a ticket in hand for a little cash. Our best bet this week, we're rolling with the 2.5 again. We're going Riptide plus 2.5, taking on the Wings. Now, I kind of got burnt the last time that I just formulaically went with the 2.5, but I did only lose by a 0.5 point. So while I'm still reeling from that bad beat, it still was looking like the right side early. We just didn't end up getting it home. Now, in this specific instance, why we're liking this 2.5 with Riptide, if you just look at the schedule, yeah, it's an abbreviated slate, but it's not an abbreviated slate for the Philadelphia Wings. They'll be at home for both games this weekend, but in the second game, they have to take on their East rival Riptide at 4:00 Eastern on Sunday, after they just played a night game. 7:00, they'll be taking on the Nighthawks on Saturday. So the short rest already has me kind of looking towards the Riptide. And then you just kind of look at this quasi rivalry with the Riptide playing Philly tight earlier this year. They actually took the Wings down to the wire. Yes, they lost by 2 goals, but obviously they would be covering the 2.5 for us there. If you're noticing a bit of a trend, Philly's also been 2.5-point favorites twice. Both times they failed to cover. One was against Panther City, and obviously the other one that we're talking about, the Riptide one there. Another team in Panther City who's kind of towards the bottom of the standings. Like, I know that a lot of people are going to get their stomachs turning when we're trying to tell you to put some bets on Panther City or put some bets on the Riptide, but can't be betting with the hearts, folks. We're trying to bet with the heads. We're trying to look at the numbers and see what they tell us. And bottom line, you're going to give me 2.5 with a team that I think, with the Wings coming on a short rest situation, they could win outright. Hopefully Jeff Teat feeling good, back in the lineup, hungry for their first win of the season. And I also think this is a chance for Coach Dan Ladouceur to kind of put a stamp, a good spot, team on short rest, finally get that monkey off the back. I personally wouldn't blame you. I'll be honest, myself, I did a little sprinkle on the money line. You're getting plus 250 on BetMGM. So that was almost our EMO, riding with the Riptide on the money line. But instead, we're going with something that we're a little bit more comfortable, a little less of a long shot. The EMO, we're looking at the extra money opportunity. If this is your first time hearing it, each and every week we look at a plus money play on the board and we give it out. And it's something that we bet with our own money. It's something that we feel confident playing, and we're going with the Nighthawks on the money line. It's, kind of short plus money, but hey, when you're laying juice all the time, we'll take any plus money we can get. Plus 115. And the Nighthawks have been waiting a while for this game. The worry is maybe a little bit of rest versus rust, but Swarm, they just had announced that they have some players on COVID protocol. The reigning MVP, Shane Jackson, two of their rookie defensemen, and Ethan Riggs and Jeff Henrick. They're going to be a little bit shorthanded for a team who's kind of been champing at the bit to get on the field a little bit. The Nighthawks on the year, they're 2-1. Big wins over the Riptide. They beat the Firewolves. And even though they lost to the Bandits, it wasn't like they got their doors blown off. I think we can expect a close one. I think Rochester is worth throwing some money on at the plus 115, as opposed to, sure, you can take that 1.5 on the spread, but you're going to have to lay minus 160. For the way that I personally bet, I'm a juice adverse player. Some people, and when I say juice, I mean, how much vig that you're laying, how much you have to lay to get back. So in this case, let's say you're trying to get $10 back on a minus 160 bet. You're going to have to bet $16 to get $10 back. So for me, I just don't really like playing anything above 140. Like, that's kind of my cap, unless it's a player prop. There's some different instances where I'm okay with laying a little bit more juice, but for just a spread play that's basically a goal line plus 1.5, I think it's just more worth it. If you think the team's going to win, if you think they're going to cover that one goal, that means they're probably going to be live at the end of the game. So we'll ride with the Nighthawks money line plus 115. Again, that best bet this week. Give me that 2.5. I think Riptide might win it outright. So Riptide over the Wings, getting that 2.5. So that's my thoughts here on this week's NLL slate. Be sure to check us out on social media at Bet On Lacrosse. You can also chirp at us at Pro Lacrosse Bets. And make sure you sign up for the wait list for the Bet On Lacrosse report. Have the most up-to-the-minute information, making your bets the most informed ones possible. Drop us a line there on Twitter. You can follow me at Newbie Talks as well. And let us know who you're betting this week. Let us know how horrible those picks are, or how great they are, especially if you cash those tickets. And make sure you tune in each and every week as we preview the NLL lines and we help you bet on lacrosse. Until the next time, for the whole Bet On Lacrosse crew, I'm Dan Alexander, and we'll talk to you next week.